Hey guys, LevelCap here and welcome to another episode of This Week in Gaming. Details right now are scarce, but some interesting info regarding Call of Duty World War II Zombie Mode are quickly being discovered by the community. The game's official website currently has a mystery minigame involving a typewriter and cryptic codes scattered throughout the marketing materials. Players have found coordinates in the minigame that point to the French town Dunkirk, where the famous Battle of Dunkirk happened during World War II. It was a bloody battle that ended in an Allied retreat of over 300,000 troops. Entering a code on the Call of Duty World War II official website also revealed two photos which Redditors have determined are references to Operation Barbarossa, the Nazi invasion of Russia in 1941. All things considered, it sounds like Zombies mode will heavily feature the Battle of Dunkirk in one way or another. This could mean the single and multiplayer modes will also feature Dunkirk. It's not a battle that's been featured heavily in previous World War II shooters, but it's certainly one of the more interesting, if not the most pivotal moment of the entire war. As for Operation Barbarossa, maybe we'll get to see the Nazi invasion of Russia in some way. Aside from zombies, Call of Duty World War II will feature support for up to 48 players in multiplayer games. Speculation suggests the game's social space, headquarters, is where we'll see that many players, but it could also mean the war game mode will feature 48 players as well. I talked about all the details from the Call of Duty World War II reveal in a video earlier this week, so be sure to check that out if you want more info. The spring update for Battlefield 1 is now live. In my video covering it, I mentioned some changes to the netcode. Well, it appears these changes introduced some new problems. The update made it so players with 100 ping or higher would have to lead their shots to land hits. While the intention of this change was to cut down on players getting killed around corners, the actual effect is supposedly hits just not registering at all, even when on a ping of lower than 100 milliseconds. Right now it's unclear if there's a bug with the spring update or if 100 milliseconds is just too low to be a good threshold. The devs are issuing a hotfix in the coming days to raise the threshold for this to 150 milliseconds and are asking for video evidence of shots not registering on lower pings. As for players in areas without good server support, DICE are adding a few low ping priority servers to help affected players find matches in their region. DICE has also updated the Nivelle Knights map on CTE to test out the Rush game mode. The update included tweaks to the layout of the map, specifically adding more cover to the no man's land area of the map. It also made the lighting a little darker overall. If you have Battlefield 1 Premium, you can access the CTE on PC and test the new map out for yourself. DICE said they're almost done with the layout of the map, so I expect we'll be seeing the finished product soon. If you want the full details on the spring update, be sure to check out my video on it in the description. There's a lot of cool gameplay balance changes, specifically with the grenades. Blizzard is currently working on 6 new maps for Overwatch. The game's director Jeff Kaplan recently confirmed that players can look forward to 3 new standard maps this year. These will be playable in quick match and competitive play. The remaining 3 maps are non-standard and more experimental overall. It's unclear as to whether or not we'll be seeing these maps this year, but I wouldn't be surprised if they popped up on the PTR at some point. New details regarding Star Wars Battlefront 2 have made their way to the media and they sound pretty promising. Battlefront 2, like most DICE games, will have dedicated servers. The star card system from DICE's first game will not be making a reappearance. Battlefront 2 features a class-based loadout system that's going to be very similar to Battlefield. Weapon reloading is being expanded to include traditional clips and ammo. Pretty much all the weapons in Battlefront 1 use cooldown and overheating mechanics instead of physical reloads. This change should lead to more diversity in the sequel's gunplay. Halo 5 did well critically, but fans of the series were somewhat disappointed by how little focus the game put on Master Chief. The franchise director, Frank O'Connor, recently explained that 343 have learned a valuable lesson from the fan outcry. Halo 6 hasn't been announced yet, but it sounds like the game will be more focused on Master Chief's story. With the Xbox One Scorpio set to debut at E3 this year, it wouldn't surprise me if Microsoft also revealed Halo 6 at the same time. Halo is one of those games that people will buy a console just to play. Pretty much every Xbox console announcement has included Halo in some way to build the hype for the hardware. I doubt we would get anything more than a quick teaser, but I still look forward to some Halo 6 news this June. Alien Isolation 2 was recently rumored to be in development. Unfortunately for fans of the 2014 horror game set in the Alien film universe, it looks like that rumor is untrue. The game's developers, Creative Assembly, pretty much ruled out a sequel as far back as 2015 because of the poor sales of the first game. A sequel could still happen at some point, but the devs who worked on Alien Isolation left the company after it was completed. Creative Assembly is currently working on an entry in the Total War franchise as well as Halo Wars 2. The story of Alien Isolation left plenty of room for a sequel and was generally a solid game, so a sequel would be great and appease many fans, but for now it sounds like we shouldn't get our hopes up. The 2010 third-person robot shoot-'em-up Vanquish might be getting a PC release. The game's developers Platinum Games recently released a PC port of Bayonetta and quickly put out an update for it that included a Vanquish avatar in the game's extras folder. Vanquish was a console exclusive that hasn't been re-released for modern consoles. Platinum Games have said they want to release PC ports of all of their games, but it's on the publishers to make that happen. Given how well the Bayonetta port has been received, there's a strong chance that many more titles from the devs will get a PC release. The weekly patch for PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds has been deployed. Changes include fixes for the broken loot balance, fixes for bugs that cause doors to open the wrong way, and incorrect lighting on the 2x scope, as well as the FPS improvements when firing a gun or driving a vehicle. The devs also reduced the amount of health you lose when you get ejected from flipping a motorbike. That said, it will still put you in a revive state if you manage to flip the bike badly enough. Now, in addition to these fixes, the patch also added the custom games feature for selected players known as PUBG partners. Players can sign up to the PUBG partners next month. As for future patches, the devs recently posted a screenshot of a work-in-progress foggy weather effect. Rumor has it that the Circle of Death will also be getting a substantial overhaul to improve the late game balance, among other things. Nintendo have announced a new addition to their handheld console lineup, the 2DS. The new 2DS XL features the same hardware as the 3DS XL, so it can run the same games without features or content needing to be scaled back for their 3DS XL version. The original 2DS is now being offered at a reduced price of $80, with the 2DS XL releasing on July 28th for $150. Nintendo is committed to supporting their DS line of portable consoles, despite the Switch also being a portable device. Screenshots showcasing the Xbox One Scorpio's 4K and 1080p output have made their way online. They show clear technical improvements when running the games at both resolutions over the existing Xbox One. Games on Scorpio will feature higher resolution textures, better rendering, and improved post-processing. I wouldn't go so far as to say these improvements are night and day, but they are an obvious step up. Considering the benefits that come with running a game in 4K alone, I'd say the Scorpio is going to offer a pretty clear-cut superior experience. My biggest concern, however, is the frames per second. Microsoft says they're targeting 4K at 60 frames per second for Scorpio games, and Eurogamer confirmed Forza runs at those specs. But Forza isn't the most demanding or visually impressive title. How will games like Battlefield 1 and Call of Duty World War II run on Scorpio with all their explosions and highly detailed environments? Only time will tell, but I am enjoying the new console marketplace, where the new generation consoles still support a lot of the old generation games. It seems like they're taking a page out of the PC player handbook. Anyway, that wraps it up for today's episode of This Week in Gaming. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. This is Level Cap, signing off.